Om Vagartha Vivasampraktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagata Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Harihi Om. Okay, so we are on the 10th session of this course. प्रायशः मासद्वयम् अतीतं स्यात् सनातनधर्मस्य विषये मे मासस्य द्वितीयसप्ताहे अस्माभिः प्रारब्धं कृतम् एतावत् दूरं वयं गतवन्तः. Before we start, I will take some of the questions. So here is one question. Says, why did Krishna allow Arjuna to kill Karna? Now the Mahabharata serial is going, so I think it has sort of echoed for some people. When he was down from his chariot fixing the wheel, how did Bhima hit Duryodhana below the waist on the thighs when he wasn't supposed to do? Why was Drona killed by making him fall into the trap when he heard Ashwatthama Hataha Kunjaraha? How is Dharma justified here? The Pandavas fought a little longer. Could they have not defeated Kauravas by not resorting to such means, considering Krishna was on their side? No, this is a good question, because the question has a background. The background is, our context of morality today, the way we have been taught and the way we have been understood and so on. Our context of morality and ethics and all these have a certain construct. For example, there is something called means and ends. Is a very important construct. So people ask, is means important or ends important? Sometimes people argue means is important. Sometimes people argue ends is important. This is an endless thing. Now, if you look at Mahabharata and all these, in fact, in Karna Parva, Krishna gives this kind of explanations. If one reads it very carefully, my own understanding is this means and ends construct is subsumed into what is called dharma. Dharma is a bigger construct, and in the construct of dharma, sometimes, in fact, in normal circumstances, both means and ends are important. At sometimes means is important, and sometimes ends is important. In some extreme cases, both means and ends are not important. So this is a much higher sort of framework, this dharma. But the catch here is, what is dharma? That, you cannot conveniently, hide behind means and ends are below dharma, therefore I will define dharma. It doesn't work like that. An Avatara Purusha like Krishna can, distill the lens of dharma so well, so he was able to do it. So it's a very different sort of situation. As a second question, Rama is one of the Dasa avatars of Vishnu. So Rama did not have Purva Janma karmas, or did not have any Sanchita karmas, etc., etc. Why he had to undergo 14 years of Vanavasa and move helplessly in the forest with the wife kidnapped and so on? Again, we need to be little subtle about these matters. See, these Avatara Purushas and all the characters that came along with the Avataras, they have all descended en masse. If you read, Balakandam, the first, 14th, 15th, 16th sargas, you will actually get 14, 13 sarga, I think. You will see how this whole thing is orchestrated. So Rama did not have any Sanchita karma, all that is true. They have come here to demonstrate a street play. They have come here to play a drama. See, if somebody is playing a drama, role of a drama, you cannot, say, oh, he has killed somebody, put him in jail, he has insulted him, so do something. They are all part of drama. So they have, the Avatara Purushas have two roles. One is to establish dharma, That's why they kill, all these Shishupala and Kamsa and Duryodhana, all that happens actually. And like that, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and Kumbhakarna, Ravana, and so on. One is to establish dharma. The second thing is to demonstrate how one has to face the nuances of dharma and what will happen if you face it only. All these are contained in that. So purpose is that it's like a drama. So all these questions are unimportant. They have not come here with karma and all that. They have come for a street play and they will go back. There is this question: what if the generation before me did Shraddha karma, but not in a way it is prescribed in the scriptures? What if they show gratitude and appreciation for their parents and ancestors in their own way with love and devotion? See, these is all very familiar arguments. People are saying that if there is a certain thing to be done, people lay down rules. You cannot go to an organization where you're working and say, no, you leave it to me. I am very genuine. I will do. I have very genuine thing to do, but I will do the way I want. That is all, it is all meaningless, and it doesn't give any sort of benefit, and it makes no sense. So all these that they show gratitude, appreciation. There is a way to show. If you show it in some other ways, it is not counted. That's why in the closing chapters of Bhagavad Gita, these two shlokas I wanted to show you. Krishna says, "Ya shastra vidhi musrijya vartate kamakaratah na saha siddhim apnoti na sukham na param gatim." Nothing he will get. Shastra vidhim usrijya. You throw away some rules and all that, and you say, no, I am very genuine, but I will do the way I want. There's no use. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya vyavastito jnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum iha arhasi. So that's what Krishna says. You don't, everybody start saying, no, I am genuine, but I will not follow the rule. It will be chaos. Dharma is for avoiding chaos also. So I think all those are not allowed. If they still want to do it, they must understand it is just they are wasting their effort and time. There is this question: our Pitru Devatas would have also taken another form due to Punarapi Jananam. So they would be blessing their offsprings in their new life too, and they would be getting fed by them. So why should we do rituals, supposing they are already born? But first of all, we do not know whether they are reborn, but leave that question. I want to ask a simple question. Okay, so I borrowed 1,000 rupees from you, and you are well off. Now, does that mean because you're well off, I don't have to give you that money? How are you going to decide this? Just because you're well off, what I borrowed from you, should I not give back? Now, if you can answer that question, you can answer this. Why are we bothered? What happens to our ancestors when they are living elsewhere? You are grateful to them. You have to do what you need to do. You don't step into their shoes and then evaluate whether they need it, therefore they don't need it, let me not give. It's like saying, that person is very well off, so I've taken 10,000 rupees from him, I don't have to give him because he's taken care now. I think these kinds of arguments are all not proper. Can dharma be influenced or defined by democratic principles? Can we not call it a Naimitika dharma? There's something called Naimitika karma, but they're using a word Naimitika dharma. Anyway, so dharma, it appears that dharma is actually being influenced by the so-called democratic principle, which is not a good thing. But that's what unfortunately is happening now. Dharma is being reinterpreted, adjusted and looked at and rephrased using democratic principles. I think that's not what it ought to be. Dharma is beyond all these. Democratic principles are some lower level, things which should draw itself from the principles of dharma. Now, can we not call it Naimitika? No, Naimitika is different. Naimitika karma means those which will crop up from time to time and which you have to address. It's an obligatory kind of a work that befalls on us from time to time. Rearing a children, getting them married. These are all happens on a certain. So these two are not connected. Therefore, I think we should not confuse these two. Okay. So this there was one comment I saw which said that if there is a power interruption, can you please request the professor to say what he's saying. In fact, I am very aware of when the audio connection is getting lost. I actually stop. And when the connection is restored, which I'm able to see in my screen, I resume. So there is no loss, don't worry. What you hear, even with a little bit of interruption, is what is uninterrupted in any case, except for those small little breaks in between. So be assured of that.